Welcome to Mendez Farms. So the last time I posted, I got in my hive. I'm just lighting my smoker here. I was able to get in my hive and do a mini bee inspection. I had just arrived home from Kentucky, and as soon as I arrived, I told the bees. There is an old tradition of telling of the bees, and I'm going to post about it after this video to share with others. Get my smoker going here. So last time, my little Mendez Farms honey hat, I have wax all over it from waxing my frames. But the last time I was in the hive was right after I buried my beloved mom. And it has been a really tough 2 weeks. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks since my mama passed. And so as soon as I arrived home, I told the bees. So I'm going to power through this hive inspection because I love teaching and sharing. And one of the things that makes me happy is beekeeping. It is truly my pride and joy. I love it so very much. When I visited Mama in the hospital over these last 3 months, every time I walked in, they were like, "Oh, are you Farmer Tabitha? Are you Farmer Teacher?" As Tegan calls me, who's the little girl next door who I've known since she was 3 years old. And I've got her chicken farming, beekeeping, gardening, and I'm so very proud of Tegan and many other young ladies in the neighborhood, Sensei, and I have quite a few new visitors that I've been getting into the hive and teaching them about being sustainable, growing your own food, and having your own source of food, whether it be chickens, eggs, bees, and that nature. I've got a really good smoke on here today. As you can see, it's hit me in the face. So I should have a really good hive inspection. I have this new gimbal that I added to our video arsenal at Savvy Advertising Solutions, which is my advertising agency. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. It really is sensitive and moves with the camera, which is good, but hopefully it stays within the frame. So I'm gonna get in here, do a beehive inspection, see what we have going. Last week we had lots of honey in these two hives, and this hive unfortunately was lacking, but it's also a new hive. I'm expecting to get in here and see lots of eggs, hopefully some larvae. Last week I got in there and I saw just a little bit of brood, and the more I thought about it, there was such a weird pattern. It had to have been old brood. That was not the new queen's brood. So the more I thought about it, I realized that I was excited thinking it was the new queen. So I'm hoping now, it's been a week, that she's already laying. So I'm gonna get in here and see what's going on. I'm gonna start with this hive, just so I can understand what's going on here. So this is kind of my biggest concern, just to make sure these bees are doing well and they're thriving, to make sure that I don't have to combine this hive with another hive, that they're self-sufficient. So these are my concern today. I did add some sugar water in here last time to give them a jump start on making comb, getting energy, not having to go out and find resources. And they pretty much ate it off, so that's really good. Alright, so let's see what else is going on. Let's see if they're building out any of this comb. I added the second box on here. And it doesn't seem like they're really building it out yet. So it may have been a little premature putting it on there. They're probably still working down below, which is good. That's where the queen is going to be hanging out. So nothing going on up here. I probably should fill this back up, seeing as none of this comb is built out. This is all my wax frames that I gave the bees. So I am going to take this off. I'm going to remember later to give them some more sugar water so they can continue building the comb out. Now I'm seeing lots of good activity here, so that's a really good sign. That makes me really happy. So I'm going to give them a little bit of smoke them down a little bit. They already started building comb in between the two boxes. So this hive seems to be doing well and adapting. So that makes me very excited. Lots of propolis. It's hard to get this frame off. I'm having to break it apart. Beautiful. So they have done a great job building this comb out. I am super pleased. You can see the three-dimensional of the comb on both sides. Super happy about that. All right, let's just continue seeing what's going on. Okay, more comb. So they are working on a place for the queen to lay. So it's important they get this comb built out so she has somewhere to lay. Here's more comb. Now when we got in here last week, we saw some of the queen cups, and we saw 2 queen cells. Oh, and a bee snuck in my veil last week. That was pretty entertaining. Last week on my video, I think it was 1844, a bee, I didn't have this closed properly, and a bee snuck up inside of there. It was just hanging out of my collar, and then it got on my cheek, and it never stung me, so who knows, maybe it was my mama coming to give me a kiss on the cheek. Because it never stung me. So, this is beautiful. I'm seeing lots of pollen in here. Really good sign. Not seeing any eggs yet, although I need to really take a good look. These are black frames, it's hard to see. I see just a lot of comb, but see all that beautiful pollen? They're doing a lovely job bringing the pollen in for the queen bee. They're getting ready, making sure she has plenty of resources. So I'm gonna actually put this on the outside of the box. And this other frame that is not built out, I'm gonna move it on the inside so that they build this comb out. I like to keep my resources on the outside. Whether it's pollen or honey, I like to keep it on the outside. So they're doing well. This is a great, there's lots of bees in here, so I need to be really careful not to squish them. I'm just gonna smoke them down. I didn't start with that many bees, but I can see that all the brood that I gave them already hatched. So that's really good. Just gotta break this propolis up. They're doing what bees do, make propolis and seal up everything and keep off everything. I can see this little bee is fanning her wings. I hope you can see this in the camera because it's really cool. She's fanning her wings to let others know there's an intruder in here, and she's fanning the pheromones. Okay, so I'm looking for the queen. There's not many bees, and if she's in here, I should have an easy time finding her. She may be a virgin queen. She may be smaller. She'll have a dark spot on her thorax, on the top of her back, where her head meets her spine, her back. I don't know if they call it a spine in bees, but her back. So I'm not seeing her quite yet. So just taking a real good look. I see lots of bees working, filling with nectar. So they've already started to build the nectar out. So that's really good. I don't see any eggs, unfortunately. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. There are eggs in here. Yes! Yes! So, we 1000% have a queen. We 1000% have a queen because there are eggs in here. I'm not seeing the queen yet, but I know she's here because I see eggs. And they are even in the center, so I know that it's not a nurse bee laying them. It is definitely a queen because it's precision, perfect. And so far I'm not seeing the queen. This side of the frame is the one I didn't build out, so I need to do that sometime, but not today. So still Not seeing the queen, but I see them. They are tending to the eggs. These bees are really attentive, doing a great job attending to the eggs. So let's see what else we have here. This frame feels a little heavier. Oh, and that's because there's larvae. Now I gotta be careful because the queen may be on here because there's lots of larvae. I'm not seeing the queen. Looking, 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 looking. She's gonna be longer than the rest of the bees. She's gonna have a big black dot on the top of her thorax. And I'm not seeing her, but I know she's here because I see eggs and larvae. Super exciting. So the queen also has longer wings. So that's another way to try to find the queen. Her wings, most of the bees, their wings like stop like at 3/4 of their body. Her wings, I'm sorry, most of the wings go to the edge of their body on the nurse bees. The queen's wings stop about halfway because she's so long. And then the other thing is usually you'll see a bunch of bees around the queen. They'll be tending to her, like Your Majesty, cleaning her, grooming her, you know, getting honey off her legs, taking care of her. So I also look for a queen that's putting her bottom inside the cell. That means she's laying eggs. And I don't see that. So I don't know that she's on here. I may just be missing her because there are quite a bit of bees. It's not real sunny, but I hope you can see the larva in this frame. I know you've seen it before in the other frames, but just want to show you there's larva in these frames. So that's super cool. Very exciting. This makes me so happy. So last week I fed them pollen from my mom's garden. I was in Kentucky and when my mama passed, and I'm doing pretty well right now actually, but I really had a hard time earlier. This sensor is not quite following me, but I had a really hard time earlier. And it's just like grief is very obscure. You never know when it's going to hit you. And usually at the most random times when you're not expecting it. And so it's hard to want to be around people because, you know, you don't want to have that exchange of energy. But usually I cry myself to sleep at night. I wake up crying. And the day I try to be strong, but that doesn't always work that way with grief. Grief has a mind of its own, kind of like the bees. So all in all, this box looks really good. I am incredibly happy with it. More built out comb, looks really good. I see a drone, in case you're wondering what a drone looks like. It's the big bee right here with the big bug eyes. He's got a fat body, very fat right there. I'm following him. And he's got big bug eyes. There's very few drones in a hive, and you want few drones because drones are where mites would hide. But I see lots of pollen. There's lots of white pollen, yellow pollen. There's some red and orange. So I know they're definitely hitting my zinnias. They're loving that. I don't see any eggs on this frame. So I'm looking for the queen. I still haven't found her. And if I don't find her, I'm okay. I'm okay if I don't find her because I know she's here. But I'm usually pretty good about finding the queen. But she's a virgin queen, so she's not as long and pronounced as a normal mated queen. And well, she's mated because she's laying eggs. But she's not as long as a normal queen. So, yeah. Well, a lot of these bees are looking old, and what I mean by old is 42 days is old for a bee. That's when they only live about 4 to 6 weeks. So it's a good thing that there's eggs in here. We're going to have a new generation of bees coming. But yeah, I'm not seeing the queen. She's a really good hider. These bees tend to have more black in them. My other bees were more brown, and this is interesting. They must have made it with a male bee that had more black because these are darker. Their genotype, their DNA is a little different than my original hive. They're a little darker, so that's pretty cool. I just learned there is a black honeybee. Now I can't live without it. I must get black honeybees. I saw one in my flower up front on my zinnias in my bee butterfly garden, and I took a picture of it, and Google told me it's a black honeybee. So now I need black honeybees. Okay. Now I'm thinking, are there white honeybees? Are there albino honeybees? Now I want like every color, kind of like my chickens. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the center. I don't see eggs, but it's a very well-developed frame, so I want to put it next to the eggs. So while the bees are working, they have resources next to them. And then all the other frames, I'll just put back in the hive. This one is not as built out, so I'll turn this around towards them. So again, I did not see the queen. I'm gonna look one more time on this other frame. There's only 2 frames I feel like the queen would be on. She's not gonna be on a frame that isn't built out, and she's not gonna be on a frame that doesn't have food. So I feel like she would be here, or the frame I just put away. And I can get a little bit of sunshine if I raise this up. And I'm not seeing her, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of time because I have those other hives that are really tall, and it's gonna take me a while to go through them. Yeah. I hope they start building this out. They're so bougie. This side isn't waxed, so they want nothing to do with it. They're just hanging out on it. I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm gonna shake them. I'm gonna shake them down in here because they're not gonna build this wax frame out because there's no wax on this side. They don't like it. So I may as well actually just put this facing the inside because I'm eventually gonna have to wax that frame out. They're never gonna build it up. And if they do build it up, they're just gonna make wonky comb, and I'm just gonna tear it down, and it's gonna be a waste. All right, so these are extra frames. All right, so they're doing well. Super pleased. This is a good looking hive. I'm excited. I'm glad that we have a queen, even though I didn't see her. That's okay. Maybe next time she'll be bigger and she'll be more pronounced and I'll see her. So I'm just going to get these frames close together so that they don't build the honey out. Come on, girl, get out of the way. So they don't build the honey out and I can't put the frames back in because they're too thick and honey bound. Okay, so this hive looks great. I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna put this back together. I'm gonna get some more sugar feed, so I'm gonna leave that open for right now. And of course, I let my smoker. Still going. Okay. Okay. So this hive wasn't doing as well, so I'm just gonna see what these guys are doing. These girls, I guess I should say. Okay. Get in here and see what these girls are doing. So I was just in here last week, so they haven't propolized it too much. I gave them this new box. I'm not expecting to see a lot happening here. I just wanted to make sure they had enough room so they didn't swarm in case they got honey bound. So I'm just going to lift this up. It's very light. They have barely started building. They started building out the comb, but it's not completely finished. So, but that's good. They started. And let's give them a little bit of smoke. See what this frame is doing. And I'm gonna have to refill my smoker here. Need some more rubbish to burn here. I like to use burlap. I just cut some burlap. And I'm gonna have to get some more from my supplies. I can see this one is almost out. So get this burlap in here, get this lit. Okay. Very happy with that new hive. And last week I decided that I'm going to get a 4th hive, and it's going to be Brenda's bees. So I'm going to get a 4th hive, and I'm going to continue building out. I think I'm going to finish with maybe 8 hives. That's about all the room I have in the bee yard here. It goes all the way back, but I have a bee house that I'm going to be building next week, and so I'm hoping that I can do my extractions there, keep all my bee supplies, so I'm not having to run up and down the stairs and carry 100-pound boxes, 80-pound boxes. That's what the deeps are. The supers are only about, I don't know, 30 to 50 pounds, depending on how much honey is in there, but very heavy. So I decided that I was going to build a little bee barn for them. So supplies are coming on the 10th, so we can get started on that. So, all right, let's see what's going on over here. Give them a little smoke. Okay. Of course, I left my hive tool over here. Okay, so let's see. This box they had already. It was a new box I gave them about a few weeks ago. So let's see what's going on. Okay, it's getting heavy, so that's a really good sign. I'm gonna say there's definitely honey in here. It's getting heavy. And then I got this feeder in here, and I don't want them, they're making a lot of honey, and I don't want them to have sugar water in their honey. So I may take, it's kind of a catch-22. I'd love to have them, I'd love them to keep the sugar water so they can continue building out this comb, but my fear is if the nurse bees eat the sugar water, they'll make sugar water honey, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna take this feeder out and just let bees do what bees do naturally. I'll put it here so I can see it and don't forget it. I don't want to attract robbers. And then I'm gonna put these other two frames in this hive to replace the feeder. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. These bees are doing great. This was a walkaway split that I did. It was just like that small little hive. It had one box, and now it's blown up, and now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And I don't need to add another box. I just did that last week, so they definitely have enough room. They're not going to swarm on me, so that's really good. I'm just breaking the propolis here so I can get these frames out, see what's going on. So they're still building out that frame. They've already built out this frame. Hang that right there. I'm just curious if there's any eggs and larvae up here if the queen has moved up. So I see there's lots of capped honey. So I'm thinking the next time I get in this hive, we're probably going to be doing an extraction, which will be great because it'll be right after I get my honey house and build that. Okay. Yeah, this is looking really good. So let's see what's going on here. I can tell this is an extremely heavy frame. This is like, I need to put my hive tool down. This is probably about 10 pounds. It's really heavy. Oh boy. So this is a beautiful looking frame. Try not to squish any bees. I have lots of pollen, an extreme amount of pollen, because we have so many flowers here at Mendez Farms. And there's lots of honey on the outside on the corners. You'll see on the top right and left corner, that's lots of honey. In the center, there's some larvae. This is a beautiful heavy frame. Same thing on this, but way more honey. So they'll keep moving that pollen around. Eventually they'll fill this all with honey and nectar, and I'll be able to extract very soon, probably in another 2 weeks. Okay. I'm going to put this on the outside since it's a resource frame. They've built it out just lovely. I think I need to get some smaller gloves. These things, my gloves always get stuck. They're too big for me. They're men's size gloves. Come on, don't they make women's honeybee gloves? All right, so this is a frame they haven't really built out. Same thing here. This is the frame they're doing that wonky comb with, but they're still doing it. There's a nice little practice queen cell, so I'm just going to smash that so they don't get any ideas of swarming. They shouldn't because there's plenty of room. All right. But again, that has the wonky comb on it, so I'm going to put that wonky comb. I don't know. There's honey on it, but it's not worth writing home about. I just didn't wax it enough, and it's just so bougie. I'm going to put it on the outside. Hopefully they'll leave it alone and start focusing on capping the honey on the other frames. All right, here's another very heavy frame. I see lots of queen cups. Okay, I see lots of drone on this one. I don't like that, but that's what bees do. Okay, so those bullet shape, oh boy, that's a drone. Those bullet shaped cone, the bullet ones that are sticking out above the frame, those are drones. Those are male bees. Lots of larvae in here, honey. So they're doing well. This is a good looking frame. There's more drones than I would like on this frame, but it's because it's a super frame and it's on a deep box. And this is the frame I keep saying I'm gonna get rid of, and I just haven't yet. But when I harvest honey and these bees hatch, that's when I'll get rid of it. Okay. So looking good all in all. I'm not gonna be looking for the queen. I see larvae, so I know she's here. So I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't like all these queen cups they're practicing making. I'm just gonna smash those down. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of drones on that frame. I cannot wait to get rid of that frame. I can't wait to put a deep frame back in here and get rid of the super frame. This is a lovely frame. This is so heavy. This is about 10 pounds. Lots of, they are so busy. They are so busy making the honey and getting ready to cap it. This is so heavy. So they've already capped some of the honey on this side. This is a lovely frame. This is going to be nice for extraction. So they should have this honey dried out and capped, I'm guessing, in about 2 weeks. We'll be ready to roll for our extraction. We're going to have so much honey. All right, so because this is honey, I'm going to keep this on the outside because it's a resource frame. I'm going to put these other frames on the inside so they can start building this out so that the queen has more room to lay. And this box is beautiful. I am super pleased. I'm just going to move all of these frames together so they don't build out the comb, making it, I was missing a frame. I don't want them to build out the comb to where, ow! Well, I just got stung on the back. That hurt. I overreacted though, it didn't hurt that bad. Just scared me, caught me off guard. Backstabber. Ugh. Yeah, that hurt. Sensitive spot right on the shoulder blade. Ugh, I've had so many bee stings, it's crazy. I started off beekeeping and like I never got stung ever. And like all year. And then this year I've got stung, like, I don't know, I've lost track so many times I've lost track. But I had some hip pain here and I got 2 stings in the hip and the hip pain went away. So, you know, the bee venom is working. It's very healing. You know, they use it for breast cancer therapy, but you have to use somebody that is experienced. And they're probably stinging me because I didn't smoke them. I don't know. I forget to use my smoker. That one's going to hurt. I don't have a t-shirt on, so I have a tank top. So they stung me pretty good. Directly through my suit on the skin. I'm going to say that's the hardest one I've taken so far. No, probably my hand. That was bad. I went to the Pistons game and my hand was like 5 times as big as normal. All right, so all in all, I'm happy. I don't know, this box is so heavy. I'm trying to remember what I did last week. Oh, my shoulder. Golly, this is heavy. All right, so I'm gonna leave this. I'm not gonna worry about it. I was just in here a week ago and I did an inspection on this frame, this box in the bottom, and it looked good. So I'm gonna leave it alone. One thing I do want to do is put a little bit of olive oil in the beetle trap, the small hive beetle. Gosh, that thing hurts. Because I can see these trees are overgrown and they're providing a lot of shade, and I don't want to get small hive beetles. So you gotta keep some olive oil in the beetle traps. I didn't see any beetles when I was in there. And if I did, I would smash them. Speaking of which, I have these new traps that I purchased. These are beetle crushers. Somebody invented these and they look like they're 3D printed. And I purchased them online, 2 of them. I think it was 2 of them, maybe 4. Can't remember. They were like $16.99 or $17.99, something like that. But I'm gonna install these. Yeah, there's 4 of them. So if I see any beetles in here, I can crush them. Probably should be on the bottom brood box, but I'll move them down there next time when I'm down there. I don't want to disturb these guys too much. They're getting aggravated with me. And I'm aggravated because I have a sting. Ouch. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back together and hang these out here right now. Come on, girls, just bear with me. I'm almost done. Almost done. All right, so this is that frame. The box that they've built out, pretty good. You know what? They're doing a good job building that one out. I'm gonna put this in the center. So they'll come up. Hey, girls, you gotta move. So they'll come up and build this one out because this they haven't done anything with. This one they've done a good job. They just gotta finish. And I'm gonna put this here. And if the queen comes up to this box and she doesn't see where to lay, she'll just keep going up. She likes to go up. That's her agenda. She likes moving on up. She's like the Jefferson. She's always moving on up. And I'm just gonna calm these bees a little bit. They're all stressed out. They've been in here too long. And that's what happens when you have, what do we say, 4 boxes. It takes longer to inspect. So they get irritated. I'm in here too long. I don't want to smash any bees. All right, put that box on. Okay, so again, I'm really happy with this hive. I'm just gonna take a quick peek here. I'm gonna smoke them. As you can see, they're bearding. It's a hot day. So they're all bearding on the outside. And I'm gonna put this beetle crusher here. And I gotta look it up. I think it should go on the brood box, personally. I don't know. I'm only a 2-year beekeeper. I know pretty much everything, but I don't know about that. That's a good question. I normally put my beetle traps on the very top so I don't spill them over. But I'm not sure if that's the right way. It's just what I do for convenience. Wow, they've really paralyzed this. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. I don't want to squish any bees, so I'm trying to be careful not to squish them. I'm gonna give them some smoke. My smoker's going pretty good, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, they've got this nice and paralyzed. The bees are getting tired of me. They're like, it's late, we're tired, we worked all day. Like, do we go to your gardens and kick you around while you're working in your gardens? Like, we had a long day, lady, get out of here. I normally do a beehive inspection morning, early afternoon, but I had to work in the office today and get a lot of stuff done, get caught up. I've been out of the office for, I don't know, 4 weeks now with Mama, with everything with Mama. This one is not too filled out, and so I'm just trying to play catch up in the office. So I was in the office today getting caught up, so I didn't get to my hive inspection late morning, early afternoon like I normally do. All right, this box is nice and propolized. I'm not going to worry about looking for the queen. Oh, this is really heavy. Oh boy, this is about 30 pounds. So they've got that filled out pretty well. I can see that. Can't remember what I did last week, so I'm going to take a peek at this. This might have been an empty box that I put in the center. It is. So they filled out the comb on this, so they're doing a great job. There's no honey yet, but it's all filled out, so they're making room to either store honey or more room for the queen to lay. Although she's got 2 boxes here, so she's probably doing pretty well. So with that said, I'm just gonna peek at the bottom here. I know I'm gonna do an inspection in like a week or 2, probably 2 weeks. So I'm not that concerned about doing my full inspection. I just want to understand what's going on and understand that if we are going to have, so this one's not too heavy. but they built out the comb on it, I can see. Just peeking down it. Lots of bees, they're doing great. So the queen's in these 2 boxes. I can tell because there's so much action, but also they're honey bound. There is so much honey in this. This is completely, like every single frame. Oh my gosh. All 10 frames are honey. I may not have enough buckets. I only bought like, I think 6 or 9 buckets. I may not have enough buckets. That's a good problem to have though. A nice bounty, a surplus. So I'm not even gonna worry about, oh, sorry little guy. I'm not even gonna worry about going in here because these frames are gonna be just heavy with honey. Although, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this box, oh, this is a deep box. They got it honey bound. I'm thinking I should take it off. It's gonna be about 100 pounds. Dang it. But I'm thinking I should take it off. Yeah, it's definitely 100 pounds. And I should put one of these boxes that are built out for the queen to lay because she may, I don't know, not be able to get through all that honey because they really built it out. And she may think that they're full and want to swarm. So as heavy as this is, and I don't know, gosh, it's gonna be so heavy. Let me see what's going on. Let me see. Golly. Well, there's room for her to come up. Oh my goodness. This box is so heavy. Let me smoke them a little bit. They're getting irritated with me. You can always tell by their buzz. They got a calm buzz or an angry buzz, an irritated buzz, or if they're just synergistically happy. When I first showed up, they were synergistically happy. Oh man, this thing is, I am so glad that I bought a honey house to build, because if I had to carry these up and down the stairs, OMG. Yes, B, I see you. I see you on my veil. Yes, yes. I know, you want me to go. I'm almost done. Okay, so this is so heavy. If I had a helper here, I would definitely move this box. But if I move this box and put another box underneath, I have to lift this even higher. So I'm gonna wait, because last time I lifted it was about 80 pounds. It's definitely 100 pounds now. I just hope that the queen goes and lays in these other empty boxes that are on top. But I'm gonna do an extraction soon anyway. And that's why all these bees are hanging on the porch too. It's too freaking hot. They need to, I don't know, let me see. Ugh. I just don't wanna drop this. And then I have to lift it even higher. I'm thinking. You know what I'm gonna do? I don't know if this is smart, but at this point, I'm not gonna be able to lift it up on top here at a third box. I'm gonna give that box to this hive and pray to God the queen's not in there. And if she is, then this box is gonna end up making a new queen. But since this box is empty, and this is gonna be my path of least resistance, I don't know if this is smart, but bees are sometimes trial and error. Like, what works for some beekeepers don't work for another, and vice versa. So I'm gonna take this box, oh, it's so heavy, and give it to the other box, because they've got a lot of room to lay in that bottom frame. And this one is honey bound. Okay, I just hope the queen's not in here. I don't think she is, because it's all honey. She's got to be in that bottom box looking for places to lay. One thing for sure, this is going to really build up this colony quickly. I've never done this before. This is the first time I'm doing that without inspecting and finding the queen. But I feel like it's the right thing to do under the circumstances. So again, I'm going to give this to these girls. Okay. Get these girls to move so I don't squish them. Giving this to these girls. I have this feeder in here. I think what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take 2 of these honey bound. I need to smoke these girls. They're getting aggravated with me. 2 of these honey bound frames. And I'm going to give them back to this hive, because I have this feeder I want to give this hive so they build out the comb, remember? So, okay, very sensitive stuff here, folks. It's like, try not to roll bees, but I did roll a few. This is completely full of honey. Like, I could do an extraction today, but I don't have my honey house. This is completely full of honey. All right, so I'm giving, so they're going back in their same hive, so they'll be happy about that. And then I'm going to take one more frame so I can make room for this feeder. I could do an extraction today, no problem. There's so, Ugh. I squished a bee inside my arm when I closed my arm. Sorry, dude. Ugh. Okay, sting number 2 today. I didn't see her and I closed her up in my arm. You know, that was the first time I got stung on the back for no reason. Usually when I get stung, it's because I put my arms down and my hips and accidentally squish a bee and scare it and then it stings me. But that was the first time it stung me on the back. All right, again, this is all honey bound. So I'm gonna give this back to the hive. And I just wanna scoot this in so they don't roll it. They are so aggravated with me. They want me to get out of the hive and I am close to getting out. Woo, that hurt. Their stings are getting like firmer. I don't know if I should say firmer, but more intense. There's lots of brood in here, so that's the good news. That's really gonna build, this might become my strongest hive. Okay. Again, we just wanna push these frames together because we don't want them building out burr comb. And all these frames, of course, are propolyzed, so I've gotta break them up just to scoot them over, but this is so full of honey. I think that was a smart thing to do. Again, I've never done that. I've never heard of a beekeeper doing that. I don't know if it's a thing or if it should be done or shouldn't be done. But in the scheme of things, I feel it was the right move because the queen is in the bottom of this, I'm hoping, and she could not get past all this honey. I mean, it's just so thick of honey. And I didn't want her to swarm. So we'll see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna put this back together. And they've got this built out, so I'm gonna give them this. Let me give them a little more smoke because they're super aggravated with me. Especially I broke up their propolis and their honey, and they're like, why are you coming and kicking our mop buckets? We're working here. Can't you see we're working, lady? All right, I can't even pick this box up. Don't want to squish me bees. Ugh. Okay, give them this frame back. I think that was a smart thing to do. I'm curious, any other beekeepers out there, if you're watching this video, have you ever done that? Have you ever taken a box full of honey with bees, not knowing if the queen was on it, and just risked it and moved it over because it was honey bound, and just hoping and praying your queen's in the bottom where all the open comb is? I'm curious, have you done that before? Has it worked for you? All right. I don't want to squish any bees. I'm just trying to blow them and get them out of the way. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna give this box that was empty back to these girls. I'm doing a lot of switcheroo here, guys. Not my typical beekeeping day, but I feel like this is what I have to do. Because this comb now has so many bees in it, they need more room to build the comb out. So that's why I gave them that other box. Okay. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna put this bee crusher thing on here. I don't know if this was a silly buy, a silly purchase or not. We'll see if it works. The idea is that you keep it lifted up, and if a beetle, you chase it under there, you crush it. But I mean, what are the chances it's gonna go directly under there? We'll see. Okay, giving this one a beetle crusher. I like to put them in the corners. I feel like that's where the beetles hide out. I haven't really seen many beetles this year, so that's really good. But I'm just gonna lift it so they have room to hide underneath it. And then I'm gonna give these girls a little bit of smoke and close it up. Hey girls, you gotta get out of the way. Closing you up, getting out of your way. You get out of my way, I'll get out of your way. How about that? Deal? Okay. Very happy, very, very happy. So typically you want to use smoke, but I blow on them, they get out of the way. I just don't want to crush any bees. So I am very happy. I see I've got more bees on my suit. They're trying to sting me still. So far only 2 stings, so I'm doing pretty good. So I'm done. I'm going to take this inside. I'm not worried about feeding the bees because I gave them this new box, so they're going to do great. So now that I've done that, I can close this box back up and close this back up. That's done. And then I want this frame to go over here, but I've already closed the box, so I'm just going to temporarily put it on top of here. Ooh, it's hot in this suit. So hot. It's a hot, hot day. I don't know what it is. It's definitely in the high 80s today. But in this bee suit, it's probably 90. I feel like a race car driver, how they heat up in the hot, blistering sun with the hot engine. Okay, so I got to refill my bee olive oil. My smoker has ran out, so I can safely store that. All in all, a very successful day. I'm very happy with my bees. I'm still very sad about my mama. I'm not going to take my veil off yet because they're still, as you can see, attacking me. In fact, I'm going to put my glove on, save one more. Whew, kind of rushed through that. I made a pot of soup beans today, and Christian is inside making fried potatoes, and I am making my mama's cornbread. So we're going to have a nice Southern country dinner tonight to pay homage to my mama. I'm doing the best I can. If you've lost one of your parents, my heart goes out to you. This is definitely the deepest and worst loss I've ever had. My heart aches. It is very difficult. I don't think I'll ever get over it. Everything I read says you just kind of learn how to navigate and find ways to deal and cope. I've just been staying busy, continuing my beekeeping. That brings me peace and joy. And I know it brings Mama peace and joy in heaven because she always bragged to all the nurses in the hospital for these last 3 months she was there. And as soon as I walked in, they knew exactly who I was and what I do. She even gave my phone number to this guy who called me randomly. And he's like, hey, my family lives in Birmingham and Northville. I want to come visit your farm. And I said, well, it's just a cute little urban farm, but I do high density farming. So we grow a lot of fruits, vegetables, herbs, honey, chicken, eggs. I do not eat my chickens. They have names. They're my pets, but I do collect the eggs for eggs. And anyway, I told my mama, I said, you're not supposed to give my number to strangers. You told me never to talk to strangers. Oh, he's a really nice stranger. I said, okay, Mama. And he was. Anyway, it's a great day at Menda's Farms. I hope you find joy and peace, and I hope you learn personally, professionally, and I hope that my sharing brings you some comfort. If you're in a similar situation and your heart is broken, all my love and prayers to you because I know how it feels. I am hurting deeply. I love you and I appreciate you, and thanks for watching. It's a great day at Menda's Farms. Make it a great day, folks.